Hi, Tuesdays with Tony. And this time I'm not messing around with technology. I'm just sitting at my computer where I know I have the Wi-Fi, got the good camera, that gives me all the nice complexion and all that stuff. And so here I am. And gosh, guys, it's been quite a couple of weeks for me. I have been grieving the loss of my loved one, my best friend, my buddy, and um, and it's been interesting because grieving in this season of grief, which has been over a year now, 14 months, almost 15 months, it has been really good the last couple of months. I haven't had a lot of weeping and stuff, but the last couple of weeks I've really been feeling it, and I've been asking the Lord, like, what's going on? Is there something different? Um, you know, just always asking him to check my spirit and to make sure that I don't wallow in grief, because that is different. And so what I really have been feeling, I think, is my brother-in-law has been having some health issues, and he is a quadriplegic, and so he has special health issues that littler things become bigger things to him. And I think that kind of watching him struggle a little bit in this season probably is what kind of triggered my grief, because I love this man and I want him well. And thank God we were doing a lot of praying, a bunch of us today, and he is doing much, much better. And as I was sitting with my sister and my niece, and we were talking over grief and kind of what I've been going through, um, uh, my niece shared a poem, and I don't know the poem. I probably should have gotten it, but it was called The Dance, and it's about a dance with grief, and how different seasons of grief, we have different ways that we manage it or dance with it. And I loved that thought. I kind of took it, just even the title of it, and kind of pondered it and made it my own on the way home. And I was thinking about how in the different seasons and the different ways that it's affected me, I handle it in a different way. And sometimes it's really a painful, deep crying, um, just purposeful crying grief day, maybe. And then I'm over it for a couple of weeks, and I think of him every day, but it doesn't bring me to tears. And there's laughter and there's joy, and there's still always laughter and joy. But lately it's been like almost like a depression, I would have to say, like it's just been that lingering thing. And I really think I have just brought it, that it has really just kind of triggered because of my brother-in-law. And I don't want to lose him. I want him to be around for a lot longer. And so prayerfully and hopefully that will be the case. So, and like I said, he is doing better tonight. So, and home and doing much better. So we're so thankful for that. So the dance continues, but there was a little episode that I had, and I think it was quite healing. And thank God for family. You guys, people, family, friends, love your loved ones. If you need to apologize for something, apologize. If you need to fix something, even if you don't know what it is, bring it before the Lord. Go to that person and fix it. There's scripture all about how to deal with that. And I pray that if there's issues, where there's issues, that you take care of it, because you don't know if you have tomorrow. And it was funny, actually, because what Bill would say when he was getting weaker and he was getting sicker, and he was getting so tired, guys, and I knew it. And you don't always talk about it, but we each knew it. He was getting tired. And oh, my hair's sticking up. Why didn't you guys tell me? Somebody could tell me. Okay, so anyway, so I would say, gosh, I'm so worried about you. And he's like, sweetie, you could drive to work tonight and get in a wreck on the way home, and you could be gone before I am. And he was right. We don't know the days that we have ordained for us. Only God does. And so take every day and make it precious. Grieve when you need to grieve. Laugh whenever you can and as much as you can. And love on your loved ones. And don't let a day pass with there being any said loving words and kind words and forgiveness, forgiveness, forgiveness. So the dance continues, and that part is fun. But what I did do, and I say fun because it's growing too, it just draws me closer to God, because what would I do without him? The other thing that happened on Saturday is I did go up to the cemetery where Bill is buried, and it was a beautiful day, and it was the first time that I had been up there on my own. And this is also part of the dance, part of the grieving, and the whirling and twirling and letting go. And then I like to say, as I'm thinking about it, even as I'm talking about it, but you get the vision of the professional dancers, the ones that really understand each other, and they're so close to each other and so intimate with each other in the moves that he can twirl her out and then bring her back in and just bring her so close and then twirl her out again, but never letting go, or if he does let go, he's bringing her back in. And that's what God does with us. He leads us and guides us, and he'll twirl us and help us to be able to trust him more and more every time. He's not going to let go. And sometimes it feels like as we're twirling out, and maybe we're going to just keep on twirling and twirling, and we're just going to go off. He doesn't let that happen to us. He reels us back in. He brings us back in. He's never really even lost contact with us. He's there. That's what grieving in this life, and even the grieving process before Bill passed, there's been so much of that. And so I did go to the cemetery, and I sat there and I looked at the tombstone, and I wept, and I wept, and I wept, and it wasn't a pretty weeping. No. And I always pack tissues. I didn't have tissues. But you know what I did have? Snot running down my nose, and tears and snot, tears and snot, tears and snot. And there's people around, and so I was, but I wasn't really embarrassed because I wasn't really paying attention to them. I was just praying, and I was grieving, and I was talking to God, and I had tears and snot. So I kind of wiped my nose, and I went, oh yeah, there's tears and snot. So I wiped it on the grass because I didn't want to wipe it on my jeans. And then I thought I really better go to the car and get some tissues. And so I got up, and I was looking around, and I had noticed there was a couple of three guys that were working at the cemetery. And when I first came to the cemetery, I couldn't help but notice the precision of the headstones and the meticulous care that is given to all of the graves there, and that the green grass is uniformly green grass, and it's trimmed around the headstone, and it's tenderly cared for. And I could sit there and look at the headstone and talk to God, and tell him about how much I miss Bill. And it was just beautiful. And there was a little bit of even dry grass from where they had trimmed or weed whacked, whatever they did. And it was on the tombstone, and I wiped it off and just ran my hand on the stone and just admired the beauty and the cleanliness of it. And I realized that those guys that were out there working are the ones that are tending that. And so I thought, gosh, I just really need to thank them, that I don't have to feel guilty if I haven't been there, for months, and it's untidy. I don't have to feel guilty about that, and just like I have to take care of it, or I don't love him, right? I didn't have any of that. These guys are taking care of it. So I went back to my car thinking about the guys, and just thankful that they are doing their job and doing it well. And I felt prompted by the Lord to go and tell them that. And I was kind of like, I don't know that I'm going to seem kind of foolish, or, I mean, I had just wiped off snot on my nose, snot. And so, so I had boogery nose and watery eyes, and I really felt like I needed to thank them. And so I walked over to them, and I did thank them, and I told them, and I wasn't crying when I walked over there, but by the time I was done, I was a little weepy, and I said, thank you for taking good care of this place. I wanted them to know that their job may seem menial to them, like it's not really valuable, but I wanted them to know that it is, that their job is valuable. It blesses me. It blesses other people. And they probably, I don't know if anybody else has ever thanked them, but I think that we should thank those who work around us. And just like I like to get thanked for my work. What they do is bring a blessing, and they were so gracious and they were so kind, and they thanked me for thanking them, and they teared up a little bit, and God blessed them. I don't really have anything more to say than that. I just want to wrap it up with just saying that our jobs are important no matter what God has called us to, whether it's grieving, whether it's grieving and doing bookkeeping, whether it's grieving and doing my Young Living, which I love, and still going out and sharing joy and health and supporting people. That's what I love to do. And it's not a big, super duper big job that pays a lot of money. Just like maybe the people there that were working on the grounds don't get paid a lot of money. I don't know. Well, whoever it is that's in your life, that's serving you, that's helping you, that's taking care of you in any way, that's just being there for you, thank them. You never know what a difference it's going to make. So be blessed. Be encouraged. Thank you for letting me share again. Yeah, no snot, so we're all good. No tears. I just had a little bit here in the corner of my eye. Got through that all right. I appreciate every single one of you who watch these videos, who pray for me, whether I know it or not. I want to thank you for letting me be a part of your life and just getting out here and sharing the goods. So if you have anything you ever want to share, please do it. And just know that I pray for you. God bless you so much. Until next week, be blessed and be encouraged. Bye. I'm going to try and find the button without looking down. It's not going to happen. There we go. Bye-bye.